What the fuck? He's Atlas. You're Atlas. They're Atlas. I'm Atlas. Is there any more Atlases I should know about?
Dickhead.
That's it. I'm leaving. Hello there. I've been expecting you. Welcome back to the Galaxy Cat Podcast. I'm Atlas.
And I'm Donnie.
And today, we're going to discuss plenty of cool things, finally. Now, this fan art was made by Donnie herself, obviously. But I am working to get other people's artwork up on here. That's a thing that I'm going to discuss as well. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get other artists to come into this chat room and, you know, build like this type of community. Not only just for artists, but all types of creative people. And sorry if I'm like stuttering and stuff. My throat's all messed up, but it is clearing up, so that's the good news. So if I sound like really raspy, that's because of my throat's all messed up. Anyways, but it should go well with the whole the theme of the picture. But yeah, my throat's all raspy, but I'm a boss and this is what I do. Yeah, Anyway, so everyone unmute their mics and say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Alright, so right now we have a few listeners here, and I'm happy that they're here. I want to thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. And let's get this show on the road. So today's discussion, we should be talking about Zenkaikon. I gotta tell you, my experience, okay, so first thing first, it was the farthest con I've ever went to. I've never been to Lancaster. It is pretty damn far from where I live. It is a big con. It's pretty damn big. And it seems to have a pretty good community. Pretty friendly. I even like the staff. You know, they're not uptight like some staff I've seen at other conventions. They're actually really, really fucking cool. And later on in this video, sorry, I'll show some clips of me dancing and having fun at the convention, you know, stuff like that. And I have someone here that I met from the convention who will also, if they would like to, talk about the experience of Zenkaikon and even meeting me there.
Of course, it was amazing. It was actually my first con I ever actually went to, so it was a great experience.
Yeah, that's really good. So, let's talk about Zenkaikon. You know, mostly me and you because we were the only ones who actually went there. I tried to get one of your friends to come in, but you said they're on vacation, right?
Yeah, she's at the beach at the moment.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But good for her though. She's at the beach. I'm still in this hot house. It's finally hot. The weather is finally working, you know. It's finally hot.
The weather's finally working.
Yes, like Mother Nature stopped drinking all the booze and fucking was like, alright, I'm gonna fix the fucking weather.
It's actually spring for once.
Yeah, it's actually spring. Like, it's hot in my room. I turned on the AC for the first time in months. I'm like, wow.
Ooh. Wow, it's a magical experience. It's not winter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're halfway through spring already.
For me today.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, it's
We got snow.
You guys got snow?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you guys are getting snow next, stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, but back on topic. We're getting off topic. Let's talk about Zenkaikon. So, what I did now, like I said, I know it's stupid with what I do, but like I said, I hate depending on trains sometimes because they come up late. I take my con stuff very seriously. I'm all about that convention life. And so what I do is that if I know there's a fast way to get there, if I have the money to get there, I'm going to spend my money on it. So, I'm terrible at traveling. I'm very absent-minded, you know, with stuff. So, if there's an easy route to get somewhere, I pay for something that'll get me there, even though it's expensive. I know there's a train station that'll take me all the way to Lancaster, but I hate waiting and depending on train service because one time when I went to J1Con, another convention that used to be in my city, but now is in New Jersey, Atlantic City. I waited 2 hours for the Greyhound bus. They'd end up saying, "Oh, there's a 2 hour delay." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So I was like, you know what? I'm taking an Uber, and I saw these other guys that were waiting, and I'm like, you know what? I'm paying $100 for this fucking Uber. I'm getting the J1Con. Probably would have not done it if I knew how the con was going to be. Not saying it was terrible or awful. It just wasn't my. It just wasn't a good year in my opinion. But so I did the same thing for Zenkaikon though. I ordered an Uber because it was early in the morning, and I went there. And to be honest, I like Uber rides, and I think sometimes they're worth $100 because you meet like the coolest people ever. I met this guy. I think his name was Abdul. He was like this African guy, and like he had the cool accent and everything. I loved him. He was such a cool guy to ride with. And me and him talked about, stuff and stories and everything. He was just a blast to ride with. That's why I like Ubers better than trains and buses because it's less fun, but it is less expensive, But an Uber driver you're able to depend on at any time, especially for emergencies. Like God forbid, what if the train to get back home is lost and you don't have a place to stay? You gotta take your money out and spend it. Because I do all this traveling shit by myself all the time, and I don't want to start venting or anything, but I kind of get sick of it. I travel all by myself, and I want to stop doing that sometimes, because it's a bit sad, but these Uber drivers make it less sad. So I took a Uber drive all the way down. It took maybe about 2 hours to get there. But I didn't care, man. I was happy the whole way there, and when I got to the convention, I got the monitor head on and everything, and I just had a blast. Met a few friends. I met one friend who knew me, who followed me on Instagram, never seen my face before. It was this young girl, and we hung out most of the convention, and that was pretty cool as well. But I say the best parts were mostly in the beginning because I wanted to test out my new outfit, the monitor head with the bike helmet inside, because I updated that thing 1,000 times. And so what I did was I started dancing in one part of the convention. This convention building has the perfect spot where in the middle you can dance. There's a water fountain across, and you can chill out there for like hours. And it was awesome. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay here. Because here's what I had. I had a book bag on, because I was picking shit up, and I forgot they had a luggage, a place where you can, store your luggage whenever you need it. So when I found out that exists, I put my luggage there, but, for a while, and then I did some other stuff, but I think mostly in the beginning, in the middle of the convention, I was dancing. That's when I met Gummy. So, Gummy, talk about your interactions with me. Like, talk about your first experience with the dork that I am.
So, I was just going through the con with my small group, and just that was amazing. And I got a few pictures from a few cool people who I adored their cosplays. And then I met Atlas, and I was like, "Can I have a picture?" And then he was like, "Sure." And then we got the picture and everything. And then he was like, "Do you want to stay and dance?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure. This is new. A whole new dorky person asking if they want to dance." So for about like 20 or 30 minutes, we just stayed in this one place, just dancing. And then a few people came along and they danced too, and it was great.
Yeah,
And then
there's
we
actually
started to like,
The funny thing is that This guy asked me for a hug about 3 times. And it was the funniest shit, because not only that, many people were getting into it. I was making a lot of people dance, and it was so good. That's what I love about the convention area. I can spend that's worth $100 for me. That's worth all the waiting, because it's such an amazing community where you can open up and be yourself, and finally get to enjoy and relax and shit. You know, it's amazing how I go from working in a shitty warehouse, and the next day I can be at this convention being a whole nother person. And I meet people like Gummy. And not only I met people like Gummy, I met other cosplayers. And they're just so full of life. But, you know, they're at the end of the day, they're just average people like us. And it was so fun, you know. But then I got tired. And then I danced a few more times. And I was running out of music. Another thing I need to do is I need to get more music on my phone. And I could say the only negatives that I had is that I ended up breaking one of my amplifiers. I broke my fucking I broke the end of my microphone cord. I don't know how the fuck I actually broke the end of my microphone cord. I forgot to wrap it around the monitor head, so it was just dangling. I guess I pulled it right the fuck off, and so I can't talk to nobody, so wearing that thing is pointless. But that was only around the end, or sort of, so I didn't give a shit. I had so much fun in that afternoon. A lot of fun. It was great. I remember going outside, and I saw these kids. They were watching me, and I guess their grandfather was too.
The kids.
Yeah, these.
Oh, that was so adorable. They like came up and asked all of us for a picture, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. It warmed my heart so much.
Yeah, I wish there was footage of that, because I would show that any day. It was a really wholesome moment, because it reminds me that even though I'm 20 years old, I still have that kid side of me. You can connect to any child and have fun, you know. It's the best thing about, you know, never really growing up, but you're still really grown up. You know, the funny thing is like that. It was so cool too, because they were trying to copy my moves too, and I had to teach them how to do some of the moves, and they just followed, and it was such an amazing moment. And after that, I just kept dancing. Everybody was dancing. The funny thing was, like, it was hot in the convention. It was hot in there, but when we went outside, it was like a nice breeze. And then I was like, all right, this is better for dancing now. So that was the best part.
That's like the best part about cons, is like you get to meet people exactly like you and just talk to them about the dorkiest things, and you can do all of that without judgment, and it's so great.
Yeah, the lack of judgment is pretty fucking amazing. The amount of respect I got there was probably just as great as any other convention I went to. People absolutely love the monitor head. They love the dance moves. And I think my most favorite moment is when the fucking Rick Astley song came on, Never Gonna Give You. There was a fucking part where I was playing one song and we were dancing, making everybody else dance. But we were moving out of that middle spot and we were walking. All of a sudden, and alright, so the thing is, one of my amplifiers, they have a Bluetooth enabled. And I'm connected to this chick's phone. And she's playing the song, and all of a sudden the Rick Roll song comes on. I stand there like, are you kidding me? There's a bunch of people sitting down in one spot of the convention. They're looking at me. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. And I dance.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
To this song, and everybody's dancing. Even the staff, one of the staff members started dancing. We were causing traffic. Yeah, one of the staff ladies was dancing even, and it was like the best. You're at a good convention even when the staff don't give a fuck like that. Like, that's just the best thing. We were causing traffic, we were making people sing and dance, and that was the best moment. And I want to do that again so bad because
That was like the
I
highlight
mean,
of my day.
because what made it so great is that it was a song that didn't even come to my mind. I didn't even want to play it, but she fucking played it anyway. Everyone else liked the song surprisingly. And so
It's a great song.
it is, but it's so old.
Who
It's a-
cares if it's old? It's an amazing song that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah,
Even if they
I
hate it.
guess. I don't know. But after that, though, she said that was great. I thanked her. I was like, you know what? I know we're causing traffic. I'm sorry, but you did a great job at dancing. She was an old lady too. She was like 40 or 50, and she danced out of nowhere. I was like, hell yeah. I'm going to Zenkaikon next year, man, just to do that, just to not to cause. I don't like to cause traffic. Let me be honest with you. It doesn't like it feels good, but then when you realize what issues you're causing for other people, it makes you feel bad. So I don't know. It's not to make myself like boast or anything. That's not me. But it feels good. That people really like the cosplay and they like the crazy shit that I do with the monitor head. But I gotta do my repairs. I gotta get a whole new amp. I gotta fucking replace the microphone, which shouldn't be too hard because I got 2 spares in my drawer. And yeah. So if that's done, if we're done talking about Zenkaikon, I could say at the end, oh my god, the end was kind of rough. I went to the rave. The only thing I don't like about Zenkaikon is how long you have to wait for everything. How many times you have to show that you have your badge, and you're like, I get it, but holy crap. I don't know, but I could say the wait times for things were kind of ridiculous. I didn't like waiting for every single solitary thing. I'm a patient person, but when they were done the concert, they kicked everyone out, and then they said, okay, you have to wait in this line now. And it's like, wouldn't it just be better if we just stayed in there? Like, it was so dumb. And it got late, and I was tired, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go home. And the next Uber driver, he was just as cool, but he got lost. He got fucking he got lost, man. And I was exhausted. This guy, I'm so glad he was so cool because I slept in his car. I slept in this stranger's car. And he was cool with it. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Can I nap in your car? He's like, yeah, man, go ahead. I'm like, okay. I didn't even care if I was gonna get kidnapped or die. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die coming home from a convention, that's the way I'll die. I don't give a fuck.
I'll die in an Uber's car.
I mean, yeah, man, whatever. My job's done. I entertain a bunch of people, and that'll be it right there. But in all seriousness, I got home safe and sound. But the only thing that bummed me is I didn't get to buy anything for myself. I only bought food, and that was it though. But I gotta say, about 80% of that convention was good. Other than the mishaps with my monitor head and everything, that's just typical bullshit. Cosplayers never stop having problems. Speaking of cosplays, there were so many talented people there, and I hope to meet more of them. My next convention, I'm not sure. I should look at the convention list. Let's see. Well, we got the Great Philadelphia Comic Con coming up in April 12th to the 14th of 2019. South Jersey Geek Fest. And there's some other conventions I have to see. There's one called Anime Next. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. But pretty much, I definitely want to go there. I want to go to some more of these cons, but they're expensive. So that's why I have to work. I have to do art commissions if I get them, and I have to see if I can get some donators. One guy,
I would donate.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Anyways, let's move on to another subject. What do you want to talk about, Soma?
What, me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Soma.
Well, I thought you were
Me on
gonna
the
show some
spot like
pictures
this.
towards the end.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be edited in post.
Oh,
Yeah. So, anyways, Soma wanted to talk a lot, so we're gonna give her the opportunity. Soma, what do you want to discuss?
Why are you gonna do me like this, man?
Hey, you
We
said you
love-
wanted to talk, so let's talk. Let's make it happen. Everyone, let's grant her their wish to speak.
Please stop.
Yeah, Soma, we love you. Woo!
Woo!
I don't know what I want to talk about.
Just be a
then
dork.
why are you talking,
Yeah.
Don't be
stupid?
Don't.
Anyways, Donnie, you've been quiet as well, and you're the host. Like you did great on your own podcast, but now you're all quiet.
I'm trying to let you guys speak about it
Well,
because
we're
I have no
done.
experience. Well,
I'll speak
as
now.
we're talking, I'm actually looking up. Like, I'm trying to make a plan because I really want to go to a convention with Atlas one of these days.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard.
Problem is that the end price would probably be in the quadruple digit just to get a plane or a train to get out there, get a hotel.
Oh my
Plus,
god!
don't know how much I'm gonna cost from food or.
You're gonna
whatever
cost a lot for food. 'Cause you're
Well,
fat.
no, I can usually go for a while without food, but like.
Oh
I'm saying-
really?
Yes, really.
Really?
Yes, really.
Really?
I'm just saying that it's going.
Presses the doubt button dramatically.
Press
What?
X out.
I said
The marriage
I
button
pressed the
button.
doubt button dramatically.
The stupid.
Yeah, I know I am. Anyways, but let's see. Soma, what did you want to discuss in all seriousness?
Hello.
I don't.
Well, we can talk about art and stuff. Hey, Sil.
Yeah, that'd
Sil,
be nice. Oh, she finally came back.
Yeah,
finally there.
Sil has been like AFK like the whole time, and now she's
Absolutely
back,
dead.
and now she's muted. But anyways, Soma, if you don't want to discuss anything, we'll just move on to something.
I don't remember what the topics were.
Well, we already talked about Zenkaikon. One of the
Yeah,
others
and
was
I-
funniest videos. Which, if you guys have any funny
Funniest
videos, and
videos?
if you
Oh my
like to talk
God.
about them, you can talk about them. And art, as always, because I like to talk about art. I think that should be like one of our main topics, time to time.
Art is very
art is
nice.
always fun.
I've been trying to draw in a more cartoony style, trying to, get into some sort of comfort zone.
Oh yeah, cartoony style. It depends on the person. Everybody has a individual style.
I've just had it like drilled into me by art teachers that you gotta be realistic. So
Yeah,
Really?
the art teachers.
it's hard for
they're-
me to break away from that.
I
really
cannot.
hard.
I could rant about art teachers all day. All they care about is making you just like them, which I guess is their goal, but yet it shouldn't be, because if they are taught to draw exactly like you, then they're not an artist like themselves. They have to learn art in their own way sometimes, and they have to do their own style. If they're so focused, on doing what you do, then they're not really gonna be themselves. Like that's the fucking problem that like art teachers don't understand these days. Like I get it, you're trying to teach them some things they may be interested in, but if they have no interest in it, stop shoving them, into it. Don't force me to draw realistic hands or fucking buildings or whatever else is irrelevant to my what my needs when it comes to art style. If I want to do,
My
yeah.
problem is that they don't teach techniques most of the time. Like,
Oh, they don't.
my first year of high school was pretty cool with the art class that I had. it was like the basic stuff, like learning how to shade, like realistically, so you learn the basics of shading and everything, and like how to draw like certain objects and animals and like people and anatomy, stuff like that. That was cool. Then she got fired. and I had to deal with like the really bitchy art teacher. It was her way or the highway.
Yeah.
And it was like an interior design class, which is the only one I was able to take because it's the only one she taught.
There's
And
an airplane
because
going
I
above
took
us right now.
I took artistic liberties, and she was so pissed. Like, we had to do this project where we had to make like a little cultural room, like a room of a house based around a specific culture, and I chose Viking culture because I had just recently gotten really into Skyrim, and it heavily influenced what I was doing. And so I tried to do like a longhouse, and like longhouses are triangular, so I had to do like a lean-to, and she just refused to help me because it wasn't a box. She absolutely left me to flounder and drown, and then suddenly like my actual like project went missing. I don't know what happened to it, like where it went. It was just fucking gone. And I cried for like 2 days, and I dropped out of the class.
Yeah, I dropped out of art class in high school plenty of times because it was just depressing. It's just so
Me?
it's such a depressing area, you know, in my high school.
I couldn't actually drop out. I physically could not drop out of my art class. One, not to try boast or anything, I had really good grades, and two, if I wasn't in that art class, I would be kicked out of the school. Because the type of school I went to, you had to be in some sort of magnet area.
Yep. Forced. Mandatory.
And with mine, it was really funny because earlier I was finding some really old cringy artwork from like 9th, 10th grade because I was looking through like
I have a question for everyone here. You know, those who aren't muted and muted us. Do you collect your old artwork? Do you keep it away, or do you throw it out? Because to be honest,
Oh god.
I think
I
it-
still have mine.
I used to have a bunch of my old sketchbooks, and then I went to like I went to like a medieval fair, and it rained for the entirety of the time, and our tent was not waterproof.
no.
I lost everything.
Oh my
Years
God.
of artwork gone in a night. I was so distraught.
Oh, you want to hear a drawing horror story?
Yes.
Okay, so once
yes.
upon a time, when I was in high school, one day we had dress down day, and I was dressed up all cool, and I got my book bag, but my dumbass, I used to put my lunch in the book bag with my my sketch folder.
Oh no.
Oh
no,
boy.
Yep.
We already know where.
Shut up! Let me finish. You can fucking laugh later. So anyways, I had chocolate milk in there.
Oh no.
How the fuck would you put chocolate milk in your
Shut the
goddamn book
fuck
bag?
up! Let me finish before I mute everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We love
So,
you, Atlas. We're sorry.
All right. So what happened was, I guess during one of the middle of the day, I must have crushed the chocolate milk in the book bag. But luckily, the good news is that I had a binder that kept some of my drawings safe. But either way, the chocolate milk still seeped into the edges of the paper. And the only time I found out, I don't know how long it was fucked, but I felt a wet spot on my back. I thought I was sweating a lot, but no, it was chocolate milk. And someone told me that something was dripping out of my backpack. I was like, what? I take off the backpack, and I see a little bit of chocolate milk drip out. My ass runs all the way to the bathroom. I unzip that bitch, and there is fucking chocolate milk. Not all over the book bag, but half of it is gone. Half. And some of my drawings are covered in chocolate milk. Thank God that it wasn't terrible, and thank God that these old drawings I had, old drawings, that I wanted to keep safe. They probably still smell like chocolate milk to this day. The stains are still there, which is funny as hell.
Yeah, Milk is not something you get out easy.
Oh, and
No,
the
it
funny
isn't.
thing is the binder pages are still sticky.
Oh,
Yeah.
does it get
Oh.
sticky? When does milk get sticky? What the fuck?
It's
It's
because
chocolate
I have
milk,
a
it's
story.
sugar.
it's because
Chocolate
it
milk.
was
Oh,
drenched.
yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen.
Sugar in the chocolate milk.
It
Must have
was
smelled
all right. Listen, shut
complete
up. It was drenched in chocolate milk, and I clean these pages up at the best of my ability. I'm checking every page. I'm checking my other folders. My book bag smells like chocolate milk the whole way home when I got thirsty.
Oh no.
And that's the
I have a
funniest
similar
part.
She's
story.
laughing
The
her ass
funniest
off.
part is that I was a mix of different emotions. I was hungry, I was thirsty, and I was salty. And
Nah, I have a similar story. So I was walking home and it was heavy rain, like ridiculous.
hmm.
I thought my book bag was completely good. I get home, I open it up, and every paper and all the stuff soaked through.
Oh no.
Not fun.
How about those stories? You know, I don't know if anyone relates to this, but one time I was a huge Halo fanboy back in the day, and every artist draws in the middle of class. Everyone does it. If you're an
Oh,
artist,
absolutely.
Yep.
and we had this
Only
one.
the
We
strong survive
Okay.
the rating.
okay, let me talk. Thank you. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. I was in class once, and we had this bitch of a teacher back in the I don't know what fucking grade I was in, but I was in this class, and I was working real hard on this drawing. It was basically myself as a Spartan. I used to fantasize about myself being a Halo Spartan. It was really fucking cool. So I drew my my Spartan Sona, if you will. You know, dressed up in this awesome armor. It's really detailed and shit. Probably looks like crap. And all of a sudden, in the middle of class or during the end, this fucking bitch comes over and takes my drawing. Just flats out fucking takes it. I'm like, why? Like, why are you taking my drawing? Like, some teachers don't fucking understand that, like, I work real hard on my art, and I get really fucking, like, angry. I think there might have been a time where I might have gotten almost physical with a teacher once for touching my art. Because it's my property, and I get really fucking serious when people touch my shit. Especially when it's my art. Like, if you touch my phone, like, if you touch my other shit, okay, whatever. But, if you touch my artwork, especially when I'm working on it or when I just finished it, I get really pissed off. So she takes my drawing. I argue with her about. I don't even remember what I said, but I just hated her. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" So, and I tried to get it back, and I never got it back to this day. I never got it back. That's the most fucked up thing.
Awful.
I wish I got it back. I never got. That was the only drawing I ever got back. And then, I mean, that's not the first time. I remember making comics in class, and the teacher would take my comic. I'd be like, all right, fuck you. I could just make another comic. I don't give a fuck. I used to even tell him that. I'd be like, I don't care. I could redraw the same fucking thing. And you could take that drawing and that drawing. I used to even taunt them. Be like, go ahead, take my drawing. Go ahead, here. I didn't care. I didn't fucking care. You can call me an asshole or a douchebag or someone who doesn't care about their education, but, you know, to be honest, the school system in my area sucked. But I had a great support team in the end during high school, and I didn't hate all my teachers. Some teachers even encouraged me to draw. They even made me pass grades to draw for an assignment if I had to. They were like, oh, this kid's not going to write. He's not going to do this. Well, we got to make him do something. We got to make this fucking little shit do something. Well, guess what? He can draw. You know, but he's fucked up. Then they go like, all right, well, let's make him draw to pass the assignment. That's what they would do. It was the funniest fucking shit ever. And it worked. So, but yeah.
The greatest things in the middle of the whole entire thing.
You know, and in all seriousness, though, I appreciate the teachers I had. You know, I don't appreciate the bitchy ones. Fuck them. They can go fuck themselves for all I care. But the teachers that really helped me out, especially in the end, the ones I even gave a bit of attitude to, which I feel bad for. sorry. You know, it makes me kind of emotional because I love this one guy that that was at the at the last of my high school. And he helped me out during the end, and he was kind of like a grandfather I never had. Well, of course I had a grandfather, but he was like another grandpa, but in school. He was this old guy who jogs a lot, and you know, he was a fit guy in this time. He's not like fat, but he's got a belly, and he's this really cool guy. And I showed him my drawings and everything. He didn't understand a lot about my vision and all that stuff and what I wanted to do in the future, but he understood my pain on wanting to just leave the school and just wanting to just do and move on with my life. And so he helped me a lot. He told me that if you want to get out of here, you gotta do the work. And I was like, alright, I'll do the fucking work. So I would do the work. He'd be happy. And I remember one time I jogged with him. This old man can jog. Oh my god. He ran like, I don't know how many miles, but he was on like a Time magazine, he told me back then, in the 80s. So his body's already used to it. He out-jogged me one day, and he let me know that, you know, if you commit and work hard for shit, you know, if you practice stuff like that, your body can do that for a long time, even if you haven't done it in years. It's your body maintains that, you know? It's crazy. So he inspired me to just not only just keep doing what I'm doing, but just get school done and over with. Don't drop out. Don't be like that, you know? Get the support that you need if you need it. Even if you pass at the lowest grade, if you get that diploma, that's all you really need. And I really appreciate that. He didn't have to be an art teacher for me to like him. He just had to be himself. And he was funny too. He was kind of funny. He was a great conversation type of guy. And I remember one time I came down to him. This was about a year after I graduated. I ran down to that school by myself. I come upstairs to him and I thanked him. I even gave him a hug. I was like, thanks, dude. Thanks to you, I have a job. And I keep doing what I do. So it's a really good message, you know.
I also had a lot of problems with wanting to drop out and everything because there's only one high school in my area, and thankfully I finally just last Friday got finished with all my credits and everything, so I'm on track to graduate at graduation day. And it was thanks to a similar situation where it was an older woman, and she was so nice and so encouraging, and I couldn't really work on stuff without her there. And you know, in the end she got me through it, and it was wholesome. It was very wholesome in my shitty life.
Yeah, it's the encouragement and you need to have that by your side at times. Like, because at school I was just very, you know, I was just careless. I didn't care whether I passed or I failed. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have a social life. I didn't have any status there. I was just a weird kid that sat there and draw and barely do his work. That's who I was. You know? But today I'm not dealing with school anymore. I'm doing the best I can, just survive and go to work and make money and do what I do here, especially with you guys. I want to do this a lot more than you think. So all I gotta say is that once you get school done, in some way you will miss it, but in a way you'll be thankful that it's over. Because at least the difference between school is that when you come in, you will make money. I'm saying about like your job, you know, because that's another thing that school gets you ready for. Gets you ready for your job, a job setting, and it gets you ready for working with a community. because you have to work with people whether you like it or not.
The only thing I'm gonna miss about high school is the spicy chicken sandwiches. That's it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss the food too.
It's terrible for you, but God, is it good sometimes.
Yep. Anyways,
Cheesy
I'm
mozzarella
sorry
sticks.
to
Oh,
interrupt, but we have to wrap this up. I'm gonna say thank you guys for tuning in. This is Atlas signing off. Say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Mm.
$175